OpenAI just added virtual pets to a coding tool. Google released an app, panicked, and pulled it within hours. And somewhere inside Anthropic, a new Claude build called Jupiter just entered red team testing. 5 companies moved today, and some of these moves are genuinely strange. Let's get into it. Google quietly pushed a new Android app called Cosmo to the Play Store. The package name alone, com.google.research.air.cosmo, told you this was a research experiment, not a finished product. The pitch was familiar: an AI assistant that organizes your day, answers complex questions, works behind the scenes, basically another Gemini. But what people found inside was more interesting than the description. Cosmo can run on a local Gemini Nano model, pull from a remote server, or switch between the two depending on what's available. It also taps Android's Accessibility Service API, meaning it can read what's on your screen, understand which app you're using, and potentially help across your entire device. That's exactly the kind of access a real phone assistant needs. The problem? The app felt rough. Some AI skills were enabled, some were disabled, the Play Store screenshots were stretched into the wrong aspect ratio, and then on May 1st, Google pulled it entirely. People who had already installed it could still see the listing. Everyone else got a not found page. So either Google accidentally published an internal experiment or it pushed something early and immediately regretted it. Either way, it's a window into how Google is quietly rethinking the phone assistant layer. And while that was happening, a separate leak pointed at something much bigger. A screenshot from inside Gemini's video generation tab showed the line "powered by Omni." That matters because Omni showed up in the actual visible interface, not buried in hidden code. Right now, Gemini uses VO for video and separate Gemini-based models for images. Omni could bring those tracks together, one unified creative system instead of a collection of separate tools. The timing lines up with Google I/O, which runs May 19th and 20th, where Google has already confirmed Gemini updates are coming. ByteDance's Seed 2.0 has been sitting at the top of video generation benchmarks, so Google has a clear reason to push here. Then there's DeepMind's most serious announcement from this batch: AI co-clinician. The idea is a 3-part system: patient, doctor, and an AI assistant under the doctor's control. The world is headed toward a shortage of more than 10 million health workers by 2030. Google's answer is an AI that helps with research, notes, patient support, and live conversations, while the physician still makes the actual decisions. In testing on 98 realistic primary care questions, the system made 0 critical errors in 97 of them. Doctors preferred its answers over leading medical evidence tools. On open-ended medication questions, the kind with real edge cases, it beat available frontier models. The wildest part was telemedicine. Built on Gemini and Project Astra, the system could watch a video call, listen to a patient, and guide them through basic physical checks. It corrected someone's inhaler technique. It helped assess a potential rotator cuff injury. Human doctors still performed better overall, especially on serious warning signs. The AI matched or beat primary care doctors in 68 out of 140 tested areas. This is a helper, not a replacement, and Google is being careful to say so. Still in research only, being tested across the US, India, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and the UAE. Over at OpenAI, Codex got animated pixel art pets that sit on top of your screen as overlays. There are 8 predefined ones, and they show message bubbles about what Codex is doing in the background. You can click a pet mid-task and send a reply to the agent. There's also Hatch, a feature that lets you upload any image and turn it into a custom pet that gets saved locally and can be shared. Community directories called Pet Share and Pet Dex appeared almost immediately. It's easy to mock, but the same update also added something genuinely useful. Codex can now auto-detect configuration files left by other coding agents, including Claude Code's setup files, and import them. That means your rules, plugins, and preferences can travel between tools. Plus, a dictation dictionary for voice input that usually mangles technical terms. Put it together, and Codex is quietly becoming less of a coding assistant and more of a desktop layer for AI work. And Anthropic may be preparing its biggest move yet. A new internal build called Jupiter has reportedly entered red teaming. Anthropic uses planet names for pre-release safety testing. A similar process used the codename Neptune before the Claude 4 family launched. The current lineup has room for a mid-tier and small-tier refresh alongside the flagship. The red team process involves jailbreak probes and classifier stress tests before any frontier deployment. Jupiter suggests something is close enough to test seriously. Finally, Mistral dropped Medium 3.5, a dense 128 billion parameter model with agentic features, and the reaction was mixed at best. It scores 76.6% on SWE Bench Verified and 91.4% on an agentic telecom benchmark. The problem is price. $1.50 per million input tokens, $7.50 per million output. Meanwhile, Alibaba's QN3 has 27 billion parameters, scores 72.4% on the same benchmark, and ships under Apache 2.0, free to download and run. Chinese open-source models are dominating that conversation right now. The one thing that still makes Mistral matter, it's one of the only serious Western open-weight options. European banks, governments, and enterprises dealing with data regulations may avoid Chinese infrastructure and want an alternative to American labs. HSBC already signed a multi-year deal to self-host Mistral models on its own infrastructure. That's a niche, but it's a real one. Here's what today actually means for you. The AI assistant on your phone is about to get significantly more capable and significantly more invasive. Medical AI is moving from science fiction to clinical trials faster than almost anyone expected, and the gap between Western and Chinese open-source models is closing in a way that's forcing every lab to justify its pricing. What do you think actually gets deployed in hospitals first? Google's co-clinician or something from a lab you've never heard of? This has been Core AI. See you tomorrow.